We have really great sponsors like the San Gabriel Valley Economic Partnership. Sponsor us and we'll promote you on the show. Now to the Morning Buzz. Hillary has some more issues with those emails coming out. We also have Anne Marie Villicana with LA Trump with us today, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Thank you for being on.
Thank you for having
me. Appreciate
it.
Thank you so much. So there's so much unraveling as we speak. Talk to us a little bit about Huma Abedin, Hillary's body woman, as they like to call her, as well as we have Cheryl Mills, her chief of staff. Both are working for the private sector and the public sector. Is this legal? Yeah. How does this work? Can this happen?
No, it's completely illegal, and there's FBI investigations into it. There are 12,000 emails that have just come out that are really, the crux of this is what's called pay to play. Okay. And pay to play.
It's not pay-per-view.
No, it's a very serious thing. It involves bribery, RICO, racketeering. Yes. It means people are giving money in order to get favors from Secretary of State Clinton at the time she was, and then giving money to the foundation in order to get those favors.
And there's some evidence of that in her emails, correct?
Significant amounts, yes. And there is, actually, I have the New York Post here, and they have all these different people, and people who are pledging up to $1 billion to the Clinton Foundation that were in direct communications with Huma Abedin and Cheryl Mills and Hillary Clinton so that they could get money into the foundation so that Hillary or Bill would give them access to the things that they wanted.
Now, Hillary denies actually that she had any involvement or communication. And you know, I think even if she has her second layer, her minions, so to speak, managing some of that. But do the emails expose her in even more?
Oh yes, I mean you can pretend to insulate yourself, but when your chief of staff and your first right-hand aide is out there working on this and is working for you on the government side and working on your foundation on the private side, I think it's pretty hard to put that Chinese wall of separation between the two.
Okay, now there's allegations of Trump and mafia. Is this a thing? Tell me. I mean, you know, I'm very curious. What?
I have to admit, I don't even know about Trump and the mafia. Trump, you will find the one thing that I have found through all of this is that with Hillary, she has FBI investigations to almost every facet of her life. Donald Trump does not have problems like this. He does not lie. Hillary, they're now calling her Hillary the liar, and L-I-A-R is part of her name. It's a real problem. There are too many stories that keep coming up, but I've never heard anything with Donald Trump and the mafia. No, he works, and he has employees, and he has companies.
Just because he's got slick back hair doesn't automatically make him a mafioso.
No. The thing that is so special about Donald Trump is, I think the reason that he is so daunting to so many people is that he has actually made his money, he has worked very hard, he has employed people, he has not gotten caught up in all these FBI problems that the Clintons have.
And perhaps it's just the Las Vegas connections or something.
I think it's media hyperbole. You know, anything that Donald Trump does right now, if he even breathes incorrectly, they're going to make a really big story about it, whereas Hillary Clinton has one problem after another and they gloss over it.
Well, this is a fabulous way, too, to use like, you know, some kind of Kardashian event to dash off the email situation. It seems like you can actually use celebrities to promote away your issues, your scandals. And so it's kind of like, no, look over here. This is what's really happening. But look over here because this is more interesting. The Kardashians are walking down the red carpet or
well, fortunately, there are a lot of characters involved in this right now because now the big thing is with the WikiLeaks and going back to those emails, this is becoming a very serious issue, and we're talking about the problems that the Clintons have. One of the news stories that's really starting to emerge, but a lot of the media will not take the story, is that there have been 5 deaths from the DNC since the convention in Philadelphia. It's very frightening, very surprising, and when you have 5 key people involved in the Clintons and the DNC that have all been killed or have dropped dead at young ages for no apparent reason, there's something that's a little bit disconcerting. People are even wondering if there's a 6th person.
But do you remember, I'm sorry, maybe there is a 6th person, but do you remember back in the day when Bill Clinton was running and there were similar issues?
I think there were over 38 people. It's a little peculiar when you look in your own history and you look at other people's home, you know, in their own history of who is surrounding them. People don't just drop dead on a regular basis. But, you know, the former chairman of the DNC, you know, died. There was their staffer, the DNC young man who's 27 years old, he was killed. In all of these people, they were involved in some fashion with the emails, or they were ready to testify before the FBI, before something involving with the Clinton Foundation or a Clinton case. There are too many people that have dropped dead in the last few weeks.
Well, I think the bigger question is, will anybody really be willing to put their lives on the line to really dig further, or a family
Well, that's
member?
really
So some of
Julian
these
Julian
things really
Assange.
just kind of go under the carpet because it's too frightening to think.
Well, that's
that you could
basically
be at
what he's
risk.
doing right now. So the young staffer who's 27 who was shot at 4 a.m, and that day, the next morning, he was supposed to go and testify before the FBI. I mean, WikiLeaks, they put up $20,000 reward for any information on that death. And the little tiny bit of media that has been out there has been that he was being robbed, but nothing was taken from his body. His watch, his wallet, everything was still there.
Anne-Marie, how do we get a hold of you at LA Trump?
LATrump.com, and we
That's
would love
simple.
to have you involved.
Great.
Wow.
Thank
So
you
thank
so
you.
much for being
Lots
on.
unraveling. So much.
Very,
I'm sweating from hearing it all.
very intense. As a matter of fact, maybe you need some support for your stress and anxiety.
It's almost like I need to breathe just more gently. And fortunately, we have psychotherapist Randall Sokoloff is going to show us how to perhaps do that coming up on our next segment.
Mindfulness next.
We could both use it.